Business is back to usual tonight at the Port of Catoosa after a tank fire forced hundreds of people to evacuate.
The local elementary school even moved students to a different location for fear of an explosion. News on 6's Kristen Weaver is live with how crews got that fire out so quickly. Kristen?
Well, Craig and Lori, the response today was a joint effort between local law enforcement, fire departments, and the Port of Catoosa. That fire was put out in under 2 hours, and everyone was safe. A black plume and flames could be seen from far away after a tank at the Port of Catoosa caught fire.
We became aware of smoke coming from the top of a storage tank, the kind of tank that you typically see petroleum products or chemicals. It was issuing some black smoke.
Port Director David Yarborough says they sounded an alarm and sent a mass text message to let people know what was happening. At first, the Port Authority recommended people stay in place, but then recommended evacuation.
The wind was right out of the east, blowing due west, and so we basically said the north half of the port, we would advise you to evacuate.
Catoosa schools nearby also decided to move students at the Helen Paul Learning Center to another building out of caution. They moved almost 500 students in 20 minutes.
We made the decision that, given the circumstances, we needed to move our students here to the main campus. So at that time, we made phone calls. We have a very, very fast response.
Catoosa Schools Police Chief Samuel Brown says it was a success, and parents were all in the loop during that evacuation. By noon, the all clear was given for students to go back to their classrooms and for business to go about as usual at the port.
We're thinking about safety. We don't know what that is. We don't know what's going to happen. Let's get people out of harm's way.
And that tank caught fire when welders were working on the top of it, and it was empty. That tank is owned by Holly Energy Partners. You can find their full statement on our News on 6 website. Live at the Port of Catoosa, Kristen Weaver, Oklahoma's Own News on 6.